friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today I wanted to kind of take the time and go over what I think about the next gen, or I suppose it would be new gen now. This has been a big thing for me for the last couple of years. I knew that finally a new console was coming. Sadly, because of a variety of reasons, which I mentioned just in one of my recent blogs, I wasn't able to buy a brand new Xbox 360 or a PS3 on launch day. In fact, it was years and years later when I actually did. Now, I got the Super NES shortly after launch, probably within a month, I think, after launch. And the PlayStation 1 I got within like 3 days of launch. The PlayStation 2 also, I think I got on day one. That was probably the only game I bought on launch day was the PlayStation 2. And I've had many. I've actually had like four PS1s, and I've had 5 PS2s over the years. I've gone through them like water because I just would put a tremendous amount of time into them. I had original Xbox too, which that I got shortly after launch, within a couple months, maybe within 3 months of when it came out. So I've actually, I was really looking forward to this new next gen. That was a big thing, was to finally have something that I want. I said, man, I can't wait. I said, I missed out before. I know it's going to be expensive, and I didn't know whether they were going to be $300 or $700. I mean, who knew? After the last PlayStation 3 launch and how expensive it was, I was kind of nervous. And I said, well, it is what it is. I mean, I may have to make a decision between getting a new PC and getting a next-gen console. So, that's what this rant's about. I want to take the time and go over what I thought, the build-up to these consoles, what I think about them now, and what I'm hoping for in the future, with these consoles and with anything else that's going to come down the road, including the WiiU. I want to talk about that as well. That's what this rant's about. So finally, with these new next-gen consoles coming out, no one had followed it more closely than myself. I really started to daily look through my Twitter feeds and Facebook and all my links, and go on IGN and Machinima, and Machinima's Inside Gaming, Polygon, Destructoid, so many of my favorite GameSpot, many channels daily to comb through. I couldn't get enough information and tidbits on these next-gen consoles. It was a big thing. I put a tremendous amount of thought into that, lots of anticipation, and I said, realistically, I knew right up front I could probably only afford one initially. And I had to do that last time. I could only make the choice for one because I had incredible reliability on the regular Xbox. That thing I played a tremendous amount of games on, and it never gave me a problem. I still had the original controller right to the end. I ended up buying like another Mad Catz or some cheesy one to go with it, just for split screen. But amazingly, it never gave me a problem. Where the PlayStation 1, I went through 4 of them, 5 on the PlayStation 2, including, I can't even count how many controllers. The controllers, I love the controllers on the PlayStation 2 and on the PlayStation 1, but they wore out real easy. So even though I've been very loyal to Sony, I've had years of Sony products, Sony stereos. In fact, I just bought a brand new Sony stereo I have in my bedroom. It's one of the only ones left that will play CDs. And I got a good deal, like $150. The price is just so cheap on it now. And it cranks, it sounds good. And I have a little Sony small ghetto blaster in here too. So I'm loyal with Sony products. My amp for my surround sound is Sony, and it kicks ass. I love it. So, I've never, even though I was disappointed with some of the reliability issues on the PlayStation 1 and 2, I said, well, you know what, this time around, because the Xbox had slightly better graphics than the PlayStation 2, I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Xbox 360 may have better graphics. And of course, I saw that, Call of Duty 2, the TV commercials for it. I go, man, this is where it's at. I've got to get this Xbox 360. I can still remember seeing those commercials. In fact, recently, a couple months ago, I looked and I watched one of the original commercials or trailers again for it, and it brought back all those memories of how cool that system was. So it killed me that I had to wait years before getting it. The beauty was, when it did come out, there were lots of games to play on it and exclusives. And like I said, that what was it? Oh, the Wolfenstein came out in 2009. I think late, autumn of 2009, and that's when I finally broke down and bought it. The day that they reduced the price, I said, okay, now I can afford it. Went down from $350 to $299, something like that, and it was a great deal. I still have it today. I played the hell out of that thing. I use it for more than just a game system. I have tons of CDs. I probably have I'd say 30, at least 30 of my favorite CDs from jazz, classic rock, a lot of 80s music. And it's all installed. I ripped all the CDs into my Xbox 360 hard drive, and it works great for that. I love it just for music. It has these really cool visuals that will be on in the background, and I'll just sit on the couch and chill and just, you know, really relax with my favorite beverage or whatever. And it's great. And I love just the light show. You have a cycle through all the really trippy, cool things they have on the screen while you're listening to your favorite music. I have a few in my PlayStation 3 as well. I have some Rammstein. I think that's about it. In that one, more hard stuff. But and I use it for that as well. But I love my Xbox 360. It does more than what I need it to do. I use it. We just watched, you know, Sons of Anarchy last night on our Netflix. Again, every night we watch it. I love it. Now I could just get a Wi-Fi TV. My Samsung I bought in '09. It didn't have the Wi-Fi built in. So it works out fine. I can either use my Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, or even my PlayStation 4 if I want Wi-Fi. But I love my YouTube app especially. That is, you know, the one thing. And unfortunately, the PlayStation 4, for whatever reason, doesn't have that app. I'm not sure why. Maybe that'll come, you know, down the road with a patch. I'm not sure. But I love watching YouTube videos. Nothing like kicking back on the couch, totally relaxing, with my favorite chips and dip or whatever, and then watching my friends' YouTube shows. I really enjoy it a lot. It's something I really dig at nighttime, and it's cozy. There's a time and a place to be at the desk. I like that in the morning, but at night, I like my couch. It's a big deal. I'll turn the lights down low. I have little white lights around my fireplace and my ficus tree behind the TV, and it's cozy. It's just kind of nice. So it's a big thing. The Xbox 360 came through in spades. It has exceeded my expectations. Now, amazingly, if I had gotten one early on and had constant red ring of death, and I've gone through 3 or 4 Xbox 360s, maybe I wouldn't have had the same, you know, view. But like I said, that was an issue for me with both of the PlayStation consoles. For the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2, and I continue to get them. In fact, after a while, I didn't even send the warranty thing. I just go out and buy another one. It's not that big of a deal. I got a brand new one. You know, it's barely been used for $40 over the summer, PlayStation 2, and it's awesome. It'll last me forever, probably. And who knows, maybe I can get another backup, you know, cheap for another $40, just in case. But it's nice to be able to have these games and game systems. But again, getting back to this, you know, I knew that E3 was coming earlier, you know, last year. And I said, man, finally, we're going to get not one, but 2 consoles at once. I think the Xbox 360 didn't come out like a year early before the PlayStation 3, if I remember right. And so you had a year, which I actually, in a way, would almost prefer that, because it gives you a chance to get acclimated with one system, get into the exclusive, and then by the time the other one comes out, you got all new experiences and exclusives that you can delve into. So this was like a horse race for me. Like, it's going to be a photo finish, man. They're going to have 2 consoles. Now, I have a couple friends that went out and they were able to, you know, they saved up. They knew it was a big goal. They saved their money. They cashed in. They sold things. They restructured their bank accounts because it was very important. They wanted both systems. And a couple of my friends, you know, they basically they like to review all the games. They go, well, I need both systems. I'm a game reviewer. I'm going to have to review everything. So I validate why they had to, you know, why they wanted to get both systems. And if you can, I take my hat off to you. You can swing it, can afford it, that's fine. I could have, you know, went out and bought one of each, you know, the first week, including, you know, a WiiU. But I said, I frankly want to wait. Now, before I even get into the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, let me talk about the WiiU. The WiiU came out first for the next gen. It's the first time. The Wii, I never was tempted to get because to me, it was motion control only, and I have an aversion. I'm like a Chris Farley. I can just see myself losing my balance. As it is, I'm standing up italicized, you know, with my controller. I could just see a horrible accident, crashing through a coffee table, God knows what, you know, knocking stuff over. But that's me. I get all wound up and a little excitable. Kind of a Fred Flintstone with technology. It's probably better. I don't mix well with technology too much. But, you know, for the most part, it was something that I watched with interest. I said, they had some great games on that Wii U. Really cool games. What was that? There's that zombie game. I can't remember the name of it. Something of the Dead. House of the Dead. Overkill or whatever. Remember, I watched Mark Bussler's review of that. I go, man, I'd get a Wii U just to play that. That looks awesome. And there's some other cool Wii exclusives. Now I heard recently one of my friends, that just recently subscribed to me said, and I subscribed to his channel, he said, Dean, you can play a lot of those old GameCube games on the Wii if you have the controller and the memory card. I go, wow, that's really good to know, because then I could actually record the footage. I have a new composite cable that has a Wii hookup on it, which I use for my PlayStation 2, and that could be cool. I could actually go back and play Rogue Squadron 2 and all of those games and play it on a Wii. So who knows? I may end up getting a Wii this year too. I'm excited. So frankly, for what the new Xbox One costs, I can go out and buy probably all of my consoles that I want, all my retro consoles this year. And I'm excited about that. That's a big deal. So the Wii U looked good. I kind of actually liked it. I said, that's novel. You got a handheld thing, so you have your inventory and some of your maps in your hand. Then you can refer up to the screen, which is more of an FPS view. So when they showed that game Zombie U, I said, wow, I almost bought that system. When that first Wii U that came out, that first couple weeks, I saw the Wii U trailers. I saw that the Wii U reviews that were coming in, and I said, I love survival horror. I said, man, this looks intense. This reminds me of Land of the Dead, Road to Fiddler's Green, or FPS, up close and personal, limited supplies. You got to really make everything count, and it looks creepy as hell. I almost bought that system. I still am very tempted today to go out and get that system, and I may get a Wii U this year. Even with the bad sales, even with all the problems. But I'm just hoping. I keep hoping that Nintendo's going to, pull their head out of the sand and just all of a sudden surprise us. Here's 6 or 10 new games we get coming out. How do you feel about these? And then pull the games out. That's what I'm waiting for. And it's not happening. It's not materializing fast enough. Oh, God, I love this hazelnut coffee. We finally got a new coffee grinder that grinds fresh coffee. We have the San Francisco coffee beans. We grind them fresh every morning. And that's very good. I love this coffee. I have it black, by the way. I don't put any cream or sugar. I just like the taste and richness of the coffee. Old school. The old days, you'd have a cigarette and a cup of coffee. Thank God I got over that nasty habit. But anyway, the Wii U is awesome. I like what it does. I'm not real big on the cutesy Mario games, although the new Mario World game looks good. I think there's a Rayman game, Legends, or something that's on that system too, which I would get it for that alone. So there's probably 2 or 3 games that I would be very tempted to get that system for, but it's hard for me to rationalize buying a new system like the Wii U when there's only, frankly, 3 games I can play on it, in the hopes that more are coming. And with the uncertain future of Nintendo, it makes me a little nervous. And I think that I'm not the only one that feels that way. I think that a lot of people have that kind of vibe with this Wii U. So I've been holding off on it, unfortunately. Steve Benway just talked about that recently. He's got a new 3DS, and he loves it. I've really enjoyed his gameplay in that. I thought, that's a nice little thing. I'm not, frankly, tempted to get a handheld, but I can see, I love my Super NES, and I can't wait to get another one soon here this spring. I'm really looking forward to it. And so I have some loyalty and nostalgia for Nintendo. And all the old Nintendo, the first Nintendo system games I played at my bud's house. We had a lot of fun with that system. So just for that alone, I have a sense of loyalty with things. Back in the old days, I've always had Sony, TVs and stuff. I love JVC. I had a lot of JVC audio equipment, cassette decks. I had a JVC 20-inch TV I loved. Had built-in surround in it. I loved that little TV. And then later, in the late 80s, I anteed up to NEC. I don't know if any of you remember the NEC products. And I had a really cool digital, very expensive, like $2,500 back in '89, a very expensive TV. Really high-tech, very cool. And then I had a $1,250 then, which would be like a couple grand today, NEC digital VCR. So I love the NEC products. I don't even know if they're in business anymore. I never see their products anymore. So I was very loyal to JVC, NEC, Sony products. For years, I had a lot of Panasonic Ghetto Blasters, the small portable, handheld stereo systems. Panasonic makes some good products. When they came out with the Panasonic 3DO, I listened and said, oh, really, Panasonic? Hey, look, they got a gaming system. I was all over it. Little did I know it wasn't going to, last. And that happens. I mean, this just happens with products. Who knows, whether Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo will be in business, 5 or 10 years from now. I don't know. We take a lot of things for granted. We really don't know the future. This volatile market that we live in, you just never know. I mean, I keep hearing Sony's losing money, Nintendo's losing money, Microsoft, They could sell off the gaming, division. Who knows? The entertainment stuff. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen, and that uncertainty naturally is something to think about. But I honestly think that we have expectations as to what we think next gen is going to be. Now, so far, I had to make that choice early on, and I didn't know what the expectation was going to be. Is it going to be mind-blowing? We're going to be in 3D realms? I mean, I didn't know if it was going to be an Oculus Rift thing. I didn't know what was coming. And then they've got this, it's going to be the Xbox Durango or the 720. I kind of like the 720 name initially. Of course, now it reminds me of 720p graphics, so I can see maybe they saw that and opted not for that. But I thought it was kind of cool. They kind of doubled 360 and 360 to 720. It's an interesting name. So they came out with finally the Microsoft reveal, and I did a whole thing. You can go back and look on my feelings about the Microsoft reveal. It's kind of interesting because that was filmed like 10 or 12 minutes right after I watched it. I stayed home that day. I can still remember I made a couple of salami and provolone and cheese sandwiches. I had pepperoncinis in them. I sat down. I had my Diet Coke with me. I said, man, I'm going to enjoy this Microsoft reveal. I was excited. And you can go back and you can see that other video, but no one could be more disappointed than me when it was all said and done. I felt like someone took my crayons away. I had this really empty void in my life after watching that video. I was so excited. Maybe I placed too much expectations and importance on it. I don't know. But I left there thinking, okay, it's going to be great for TV stuff. And I pulled the plug on cable TV in 2008. I don't watch television anymore. Now, I will get some TV shows via Netflix. Or I go on my Xbox Live and like for the last season of The Walking Dead because I get impatient, couldn't wait for the DVDs to come out. I went ahead and paid per episode, which is pricey for those HD quality, $3-4 an episode, whatever. It's expensive. But I don't regret it. It was worth, like Hemingway says, that pheasant hunting's worth whatever you have to pay for it. Sometimes when you want something bad enough, it doesn't matter. You pay a little more for it. So, and I can't wait to see more of these new Walking Deads when they come out. I'll definitely buy the 4th season of that when it comes on DVD. But getting back to the Microsoft deal, very disappointed. It was all about Connect, and you can talk and use your hands and pull things and push things and do all this stuff and yell at it and it's going to respond. And right off the bat, I was skeptical. And now we were already seeing that it doesn't work so great. Some people say, it works fine, and most of them. But I watched several early on comparisons of that, and I'm telling you, 70+% of the time, it doesn't work. You got to repeat yourself over and over. To me, that blows it for me. Even if it was built into the unit itself, or wasn't a separate apparatus, the fact that you got to repeat yourself, I'm not interested. I mentioned before, there's an old Osbournes episode I used to watch where they showed Ozzy living at home and kind of the Ozzy inherited thing with his wife and kids and screaming and yelling and all the chaos and drama. And there's one episode where Ozzy buys a brand new 8 Series, flagship BMW or whatever, and it has a voice command thing. It's one of the funniest episodes with his heavy British accent from Birmingham or whatever, and him yelling at the thing, trying to get it to go to the radio stations or the music he wanted. It was hilarious. And to me, that's what I think of when I think of this damn Connect thing. Now, I have many older friends, and I've learned in life that if one person thinks or feels a certain way, quite often you're not alone, because we all share and pull from the same pool of data and the internet, and we all share common experiences in pop culture, in trends in life, and a lot of us eat the same and kind of do the same things. Each person's an individual, but we share common things in our environments and with technology. So if one person has a feeling towards a particular car or product or gadget or console or game or whatever, there's a good chance that many other people feel the same way. I've learned that over the years, that you're not alone. So I knew right off that I said, if this is bothering me, this Connect. And then, of course, this whole Snowden thing happened, and we got all these concerns about the NSA spying and all this. And then it's revealed, via Snowden, that Microsoft is in bed with the government. And that it, wouldn't be unheard of for them to spy on you in one way or another through Google or through this HD 1080p camera staring into every living room in the country or the world or whatever. Just watch the movie 1984 with Richard Burton and John Hurt. It takes me a year to get the courage up to watch it. It's hard to watch, but that's the first image that I had when I saw that Kinect, and and it can check, it knows your heart rate and perspiration. It can tell if you're scared enough, and maybe the game will do something to make you more scared. I don't want this. I'm not interested in having this thing in my living room. If it was optional, that's fine. Like an Oculus Rift deal. If they make an Oculus Rift that could be attached to an Xbox One or to the PlayStation 4, I probably would get it. I like the immersion of it. It'd probably make you, hurling, who knows what, with nausea. Maybe it would be, I'd have psychotic episodes at night, who knows. But I like the fact of having that immersion. So I'm very open for the Oculus Rift, but for whatever reason, as long as it's not mining out my information somehow. But this Kinect thing, which many people know, and I've had a couple rants about this early on, I don't dig it at all. I don't like that it's forced on me. Don't ever force anything on me. It's like I want to go out and buy a brand new Corvette. I was at the Chevy dealership recently. We bought a new Chevy Malibu 2014. Our old, 2004 Chevy Cavalier, it gave up the ghost. I mean, I had to put like $3,000 into it right near the end. It did well for about 170,000 miles. And all of a sudden, it started having major problems. And I had an option. I can put $3,000 into that, or I can put it down on something else. And so we get a really good incentive. I mean, at $4,500 off on Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving. And then we had another $500 incentive because I'm a Chevy customer, and I've had multiple Chevys. In fact, the car we had before that was an SS 2002 SS Monte Carlo. I had a brand new 2003 Chevy Blazer Extreme. So I've had several brand new Chevy cars. We had a couple new brand new Camaros. I had a new Corvette at one time, long time ago. So because I've been loyal to Chevrolet, I like them all, like Ford and Chevy and whatever. But we get a $500 loyalty incentive, which was nice. I mean, that's that basically paid for my PlayStation 4 and an extra controller right there. So we went and bought another Chevy. But while I was there, I went and I looked. They finally had the brand new Stingray, the new 2014 Vet. And I couldn't wait. I had my camera there. I got inside and sat in the seats and was checking out all the gadgets in the dash, took pictures of it all the way around. Really cool car. Now, I can't afford one. It's, a dream. I don't think I could ever afford one. They're so expensive now, but it sure is kind of nice to see the changes they've made, to see the advancements in technology. There's multiple ride control settings and all kinds of on-screen gadgets inside. I mean, it's like a cockpit of an F-18 fighter jet. That's what it reminds me of sitting on. So I love to see technology and to see what's new and all that. And I check all that stuff out, whether I'm going to buy it or not. And that's kind of how it was with the new console. I was really sucking up every bit of information on this. But I said, if I have these feelings towards this forced mandatory Kinect, I'm sure I'm not alone in this. And I have found most of the people, and I mean most of the older gamers I've talked to, they're not the least bit interested in buying an Xbox One. So that could represent hundreds of thousands, millions, who knows how many people that feel the same way I do. And I told, I'm saying to myself, Microsoft, get rid of it. Don't force this on us. They tried it with a DRM, went over like a lead balloon. Many of us knew that it would. I am not a DRM person at all. In fact, what prompted me to do this whole deal was yesterday. One of my friends posted, Cameron posted, "Oh yeah, Dean, did you hear about the new white Xbox and Xbox One and some of the changes that may be coming?" I go, "Well, no, send me a link." He sent me a link to it. I read it, and then I went and I did research. I saw a lot more links on it, and then Microsoft is talking about making a new white Xbox One. And I go, well, I mean, that's nice. If you like white, I mean, everything I have is black, so it stands out like a cherry on a cream pie to me. I'm not going to have that amongst all my black things. But I think the Wii looked nice white. I think because it was so small and sleek that it compensated for I think black would have made it look even smaller, and it would have looked more like a modem. So I think the fact that they made a design choice to make the Wii white and the controllers white, I think was clever. And I like that. It's a nice looking system. And again, I may get a Wii. I mean, I'm actually getting excited about the prospect of getting a Wii and being able to use some of the older GameCube games on it with a controller. That I like. But this white Xbox is not a big deal for me. And that's great for those that want something stylish, want white, or if they came out with a special Halo one or Gears or whatever. That's great. I don't take anything away from that. I like to see options. So it's great they're going to come out with a new Titanfall edition with, mechs on it or camo or whatever. And all that's fine, but still they don't listen to the customers that clearly do not want this boat anchor Kinect. I think it's robbing power I don't know how it all works, inside these units, but I had a feeling earlier. I said that all these gizmos and TV gadgets and cable gadgets and the Windows 8 alone, that's another whole story. I'm not interested in Windows 8. I'm trying to find a Windows 7 PC right now, and they're hard to find, and they're getting expensive because no one wants a Windows 8. Now, I went out and just spent $600 for a brand new Dell computer for my daughter just last year for a gift because she needed a new computer, and it was expensive. I mean, there was my Xbox One money right there. And she loves Windows 8. I mean, a lot of the kids today love it, and because with the mobile phones and stuff, they feel right at home with it. I'm not interested. When they did the Microsoft reveal, I've heard, I don't know if it's true, that they used Windows 7 the operating system to actually run that whole demonstration, which I think is kind of ironic. But yeah, there are just multiple things about the Kinect I don't like. It won't even tell you, how much of the gigabytes you've used up in the storage. Now, that could be fixed with a patch. And the music player thing and a lot of that. I know that they'll have patches that could fix a lot of the UI and those kind of issues. I'm not overly worried. I am understanding about that. But still, they reversed the 180 and the DRM thing and the region lock and all that. That's great. I think that they listen to the loud voices on the internet and everywhere and gamers and realize we got to do something or this ship is going to sink. So, and they were counting on the loyalty of so many, Xbox 360 fans that won't even, without question, will just buy it. I think that's what they were, that ivory tower mindset. Oh, we have the perfect product for you, and you're going to like it. I feel that that's honestly their attitude. They're just the way that they talked about it initially. Well, what about the guys in the submarines and stuff that can't have, can't access, the net? And the cloud features and all, what do they? Well, they can get an Xbox 360. It's a perfect product for them, Very condescending. That was all you couldn't find those videos 24 hours later. They were all removed. Microsoft came down heavy like the Godfather on a lot of these people that were showing that stuff. So, and I've seen this heavy-handedness recently. Some talk about Microsoft being in bed with Machinima and offering incentive to speak only positively of the Xbox One. I know how the world works, and I know this goes on. This is the paywall thing. This is what, built this country, is backroom deals, good old boy deals in the back rooms, and stuff that you never see. And that's one of my problems with the political system, with corporations today. You never really know the truth. God only knows what goes on behind the scenes. And every now and then you get a glimpse of what's happening. So the PR and marketing and messaging of Microsoft, a product and a gaming system that I had the incredible love and affection for, has really been tainted. I'm not a big fan at all. They're on my shit list. I haven't been happy with them at all since the first Microsoft reveal. I, again, waited for E3. I didn't like the direction it was going. But to be honest, on the flip side, I saw where Sony was going, and I saw that, and Sony was going to do the same damn thing. They were going to do the DRM deal too. I think that they were both leaning that way. But Sony, I think, is more in tune with the gamers. They saw early on, no, we don't need to go there. And they changed it before it went out, before they even had their press conference. They made changes in place because I think they were more in tune with what the gamers. It's a game system. It should be for gamers. I think that Microsoft forgot that. They want it in every home. And Microsoft, to their credit, has done a wonderful job having one system. My wife loves to use my Xbox 360 to watch. She watches, Desperate Housewives or one of her favorite shows she'll watch on there in the afternoons or something. That's great. I let her use it. She knows how to use it. Go in and go on Netflix and watch it. We have a little Blu-ray player with Wi-Fi in the other room. When she's into working out, she just uses that. So she appreciates the Xbox 360. I watch my YouTube through it. We love it for music. We're in the kitchen cooking. We crank because it sounds awesome through my surround sound. I put on the music player. And that's a disappointment too, that the new PS4. I don't know if the Xbox One is going to eventually have the music player or not, but I like being able to rip CDs in it. I like that, and then to have all my favorite songs play on shuffle or repeat or whatever, and then have the screen doing its screensaver, cool 60s thing while I'm making dinner or something. We love it. There's times where I'm just too tired to play a game, watch a movie. I just like music on with the lights down low. It's cool. Xbox 360 comes through in spades. I love it for that. It's great. But I don't like this new direction it's going. I'm not happy with it at all. I'm not happy with a few things with the PlayStation 4. Mostly the fact that you can't, not that I knew anything about it now, but you can't capture your footage. Now, I've heard they're going to change it, maybe with a firmware install or patch or something. Something will happen and you'll be able to probably do something with the PlayStation 4 real soon where you'll be able to capture footage. So maybe by the time I get my new PC, my 2005 Windows XP can't do it. Can't handle the HD PVR2 that I have. It just looks like crap. It just gets all choppy. The bit rate is in the basement. It's horrible. So I did my Need for Speed review. I actually captured footage right off the PlayStation 4, put it up to my Facebook, and then from Facebook I copied that. I think I used like a Fraps capture or something, copied the footage. So it's kind of a couple generations down, but I was able to use that for my actual Need for Speed Rivals review on the PlayStation 4. And it works great. The footage actually doesn't look too bad. Not as good as a PVR probably would, but the PlayStation 4 I've been very happy with. It really exceeded my expectations. The graphics are mind-blowing. The UI is just buttery smooth and fast. It has a beautiful little soothing, Sony's always had those nice little waves in the background. I mean, even my PlayStation 2, when I put it on, if there's no disc in there, you have the ocean sound, and it has a nice calming effect. Sony's always been good for that. I never really had a problem with the PlayStation 3 menus. Some people complained and said it was hard and not very intuitive. It was a little slow, I admit, going through like the PlayStation Store and stuff, but I haven't had a problem with it. I love it. The PlayStation 4 one's fast, it's smooth. Sure, we had a problem that first I got it the midnight release, and all night the next morning you couldn't get on to save your life and get online to download all of the new patch or whatever the firmware deal that they had, and to enter and redeem all my codes. I had to wait. But within, a couple days, that weekend, I was able to do it, and it's fine. It's been fine ever since. I haven't had one problem with it. I've played Need for Speed Rivals, and pretty much the whole day, and we're talking like over 7 hours on New Year's Eve day, I had, my nephew and his dad, my old roommate over, and we played Battlefield 4, took turns all day playing the new Battlefield 4, and my mouth was hanging open. The graphics at 1080p, with the killer surround sound, cranked, was fantastic. I'll never forget that New Year's Eve, and that just staying up literally till midnight playing that Battlefield 4. I was afraid, the neighbors were going to call the cops after midnight, so we had to turn it down. I had the surround sound cranked on that. It sounded like a war zone in our house. I had the War Tapes sound setting on, and it's just like amplifies all the explosions and the separation of the sound. It's just fantastic. I love my PlayStation 4. I have Ghost right here, and I can't wait to play this. I'm actually right now, where is it? I'm playing, Call of Duty 3. Here it is. I'm near the end of this. I realized that I never finished this. I had just a few levels left, and I finished World at War, and now I'm playing this Call of Duty 3. It's almost done. And my goal is I'm trying to finish more games. I had a lot of games I didn't finish the last 2 years. So I'm going back and I'm finishing all of the Call of Duty games. This is the last one left. And then I have this installed, ready to go. I can't wait to play Ghost. So even with a Ghost, 60 frames a second at 1080p. If I have a choice between that and playing it a lesser quality version, as a visual person, I notice the most minute things, the jagged edges. I notice all this stuff. To me, it's not a deal breaker. I can be just as immersed with an Xbox One version of this as I can this, but just knowing that this is the best one is a system seller for me. Right now, I've got kind of a moratorium. We're not buying any more new games. My wife is furious. I bought tons of new games. This is just since Thanksgiving. I got Lost Planet 3. I've got SSX. I just got, thanks to Mark Busler's review, I got Air Conflicts Vietnam. I just got Splinter Cell Blacklist for $20 the other day. This is the newest one that I bought. And I just bought, Call of Duty, The Finest Hour, and Call of Duty, the big red one, for my PlayStation 2. These I'm going to play after Ghost, but I'm looking very forward to playing these. My good friend Cameron from the Industrial Gamer, I saw him over Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. We exchanged gifts. I got him, I think it was MotorStorm Pacific Rip, one of my favorite driving games. This is one of his favorite games. This is a very stylish game. I've enjoyed the gameplay videos of this that he's shown. Is this wonderful Mirror's Edge. I can't wait to play this. This looks cool. This kind of reminds me of that new, that Dying Light game coming up, a lot of parkour stuff. And then, of course, I just picked up all 3 of the Modern Warfare games. So this has been this is kind of a quick little pickups video, but these are my new pickups so far just in the last couple of months, and I'm glad I got them. And of course, I got, my wife got me for my birthday, December, I got Call of Duty Ghost, which I can't wait to play. I'm really excited about playing this. I'm so glad. I think that the motivation to play this has helped me burn through all of these Call of Duty games. I had replayed World at War, because I'd played it at my nephew's house completely through, and then I went through, and I only had like 2 levels left, so I went through and finally finished the last couple levels of World at War. What a great game. I really enjoyed replaying that again, and then this Call of Duty Ghost. I can't wait. So I've been motivated to dive into that. So, and now we have this, Tomb Raider, as everyone knows, is one of my favorite games of 2013. I have it installed in my hard drive, and when I heard that the definitive edition was coming out, I was excited. I can't afford $2 or $3 grand or whatever they are for these wonderful Alienware rigs. I just love the way they look. I just like to just sit and look at the thing. I think they're really cool looking, the industrial design, and very stylish, but it's a high-tech gadget for Fred Flintstones like me that don't know jack shit about technology. You can just buy it. You don't have to worry about installing graphics cards. It's just done. You just turn it on and it's ready to go. That I like. That's why I like console gaming. That's why I've been looking forward to this next gen, either the new Xbox or the new PlayStation. I couldn't wait. So it's a big thing to be able to have high quality graphics, which I'm envious of my friends with these PC rigs that can run these PC games. I see the graphics and their gameplay. I said, man, that's awesome. The fact that it shows even more detail in the weather effects and smoke and reflective lighting on tile floors, all that. It's very cool. As a visual artistic person, that's a big thing for me. As I said, finally I can get a console that can play the same quality games like, frankly, a PC for $400. For $400, I can play a PC version, frankly, of my favorite games. I mean, what's not to love about that, honestly? Like I said, it's not a deal breaker for me just because of, Call of Duty Ghost is at 900p or whatever on the Xbox One. The Xbox One, to its credit, has a great lineup. Unfortunately, none of the games really intrigue me. The driver tar thing, I'm very disappointed in, that you can't toggle it off. If I'm wrong in that, then leave a comment, let me know if it's an option, whether you can use the driver tar or not. But I don't want to, I like driving against AI. So that was a huge system seller for me. I said, I may have to get, Forza 5. But when I saw that they didn't have the Nürburgring, my favorite track, which, I'm sure they'll have a microtransaction DLC thing later. I mean, I almost had to take a second mortgage out my home to pay for all of the Forza 4 and Forza Horizon DLC and season passes. I mean, I've spent hundreds on Forza, hundreds. Tremendous amount of money. So I take it very seriously. And like I've said before, as soon as you have to pay for what you want in life. I'm not thrilled about it, but I go ahead and do it. I make allowances. If it's something that I really, really like, I'll rationalize it and go, well, what are you going to do? And I just look the other way and pay it and, don't complain about it. But deep down, it bothers me. I got to pay for all that stuff. It's like they're taking it to the next level now. They give you, oh, here's a handful of cars. I mean, there is, you got a Corvette, you got a few cars in there that you like, but you really want the good ones. You'll pay over time. So you can see that they've planned ahead with this, with Microsoft, which I'm not thrilled about. I can live with that even. I can live without the Nürburgring. But don't force me to play against a bunch of drunken AI drivers. I mean, I play driving sims because I want precision. I don't want to play against my friends that are bouncing off the walls. That's why I hate online racing. Unless you're with some really talented people that within a clan or group that you can play consistently within. There are good sportsmen and good players. I don't like the racing games anymore online. And I did for a while. I was playing Need for Speed The Run online and really enjoyed it for a while. But just people bouncing off the guardrails and the walls and ramming into you. So I'm going to play against human AI like that? That's not a system seller. That blows Forza 5. I immediately didn't want to play it after that, which is unfortunate. Like I said, if I'm wrong on that and it can be reversed, you can shut that off, let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure that you can't. Now, yesterday, you're talking about this new Xbox One, the new white one. Okay, that's fine. Great. This is the white one. That's wonderful. Oh, they got a Titanfall camo. Okay, that's cool. But it doesn't do anything for me. Meanwhile, they got a great white box with this big, giant, black, ugly, 1984 George Orwell Kinect staring me in the face. I don't want it. Again, get rid of that damn Kinect. I'm still waiting. So they reverse the the region lock and the DRM. Oh, they'll give you white, they'll give you this, they'll give you that. But at the end of the day, they're not giving me what I want. I want to stream. I don't want to pay for something I don't want. Like I said, it's like going. I went and looked at that new Corvette. I really got off on a tangent or a waffle on this one. But I went and looked at the new Corvette. Now, what if I went in to look at that and they have a trailer? Oh, well, now you can tow your trailer with a new Corvette. We have a new tow package on there with a big tow hitch on the back. Oh, we have 4 doors. 4 doors on the Corvette. So it's not just a sports car. It also is a family car. Okay, I can tell you right now, I don't want the Corvette anymore. I can go out and buy a Chrysler Town and Country minivan if I want that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, that's what this new Xbox One is. It's trying to be all things for all people. And when you do that, you sacrifice and you kill off the core audience, in my opinion. Just my opinion, as an older gamer, for whatever it's worth. Now, I have many friends that have the Xbox One. Naturally, they love it. They love the Dead Rising 3 looks really good. I've been tempted to get it just to play that. I never liked the first 2, to be honest with you. It was too, frankly, like a circus, or too cartoony for me. I like a more serious, evil, demonic, Left 4 Dead style, where I'm going to have a coronary by the time I'm done playing. I got to stop playing it before I have a psychotic episode. That's or Zombie U. That's my idea of a zombie game, but it does look really good. The huge environments, all the ways you can kill the zombies, and the exploration. I love that part of it. That is almost a system seller for me. So for my friends that got it for Killer Instinct, or for Forza 5 even if they're fine with the Drivatar thing, I take my hat off to you. More power to you. If you like it for Dead Rising, I understand. Look, it has great system sellers. You cannot beat the launch lineup of the Xbox One. It's fantastic. And they definitely have some really hot and heavy killer titles coming. And I like that. I like that at least Microsoft has some really cool games coming out, some innovative games. I'm not real excited about another Halo. I never cared. Like I said, I played Halo 2, hated it. Maybe I like Halo 3. I don't know. I couldn't get past the second one. Didn't like it. Not my idea of a Space Marine. Not my idea of what aliens look like. But Alien Isolation, that I'm excited for. And that will look fantastic on my PlayStation 4. I can't wait for Alien Isolation. And I'm sure it'll look fine on the Xbox One too. I'm not saying that you have to have 1080p graphics, but again, it's like this. Let me have some coffee while my brain fades out. I have these memory lapses. It's years of partying and what have you. But so I'm seeing this stuff yesterday about the new white Xbox One. And then of course now they have this new thing now where they're offering $100 trade-in towards your PlayStation 3. I mean, frankly, I'm not going to give up one of the finest consoles I've ever played on. Playing my wonderful games of Uncharted, The Last of Us, fantastic Twisted Metal exclusive. I mean, I would own that PlayStation 3 just for Twisted Metal. They're going to give me $100 towards the Boat Anchor Connect and Xbox One. No, I'm not interested. I'm not going to do it. It's frankly not enough incentive. If it was like $200 off or $175 or something like that in trade, I could see it. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to lure the PlayStation customers away. As a business person, I understand it, but it's not going to sway me. Now, if you get rid of that damn Connect, it'd be slightly tempting, but still, it's not enough. If I had like an extra PlayStation 3, and I got this 160 gig, and I just got the new 500, super slim, 500 gigabyte one. Yeah, then maybe I can, let this one go, and it'll give me a little incentive to save a few bucks on the next one. But again, not with the Connect. I'm not going to do it. So I keep seeing them offering new things, and then they're talking about. There's a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. That they're okay. Maybe they'll come out with a cheaper new Xbox One later in the year, but it may be digital only. And it's like, when are you guys going to learn? I mean, and that's fine. There may be people that are just happy with digital only. They don't have the space for all the videos. They really don't care about collecting physical plastic and filling up landfills with plastic or whatever. And that's fine. If that's the way you feel about it, I understand. That's fine. But don't force something on us that many of us don't like. I don't like this digital only thing. I'm telling you, if they come out with that, that's the only way the future is. That I jump off the train at that point. And I will continually just play my wonderful old games, the retro games on the Super NES and the Panasonic 3DO and the regular Xbox and that stuff, because that's all I want to do at that point. I don't care how great mind-blowing the graphics are. You know, and they got this wonderful, you know, Titanfall, which looks great. They don't even respect me or my buds to offer a single-player campaign. You know that would be a wonderful single-player campaign. They can do it in Call of Duty Ghost, same company. Why can't they do it? The people, don't you think I would love a single-player campaign with mechs like that from the makers of Call of Duty? I mean, come on. Give us the damn single-player. But again, more ivory tower mindset. Oh, they don't need it. We'll just give them multiplayer. That's all they want anyway. Again, they're not thinking that not everyone would like that. I would buy Titanfall. That could have been a system seller for me. Even if the campaign was 5 hours long, I would buy it just to play that. I bought, my wife got me Call of Duty Ghost, and I bought Battlefield 4 just for the campaign. I don't care if it's 4 hours or 7 hours. That's more than enough for me. And I'll replay it on hard and play my favorite levels over and over. And I'll never touch the multiplayer. Again, more ivory tower mindset. Microsoft has got to pull their head out and see that not everyone digs the direction that they're going. They're going to lose a lot of... Believe me, if I feel this way, I know a lot of you out there feel the same way. I don't care about white and camo and red consoles, as cool as they may be for those that want them. Offer us an option. If you want to have a digital-only thing, that's fine. Have a digital-only console or the price break. But at least give us another console with a price break that doesn't have that goofy Connect. Streamline it. And don't penalize us and punish us with the UI either. Because now we're not using Connect. It's going to take us 20 minutes to get through and get through menus and stuff. Everything is built around that Connect. I'm not digging that whole scene at all. They've got to change it if they want my business. Because I will boycott that thing faster than you can believe. I'll have nothing to do with it. I don't care about the exclusives. I honestly don't. There are many that I want. I want that new Crackdown game in the worst way. But they've got to make a system that I'm going to feel comfortable with. And I'll use it as, I'll kind of reverse it. Right now I'm using the PS3 pretty much just for exclusives. Because it's great for that. Because the Xbox 360, in my opinion, has slightly better, in some cases, not all cases, but in a few cases, has slightly better graphics. And I can see that. So that's been my system of choice to get most of my games on. And perhaps that the new PS4 will be that same way. If I have a choice between getting it for either system, I'll get it for the PS4 because I'm not going to lie, I want the better graphics and the better frame rate. I want a pure gaming console. But for some of those wonderful exclusives, even if there were only 4 or 5 great exclusives and games for the Xbox One, I would still get it. But they've got to streamline it and make it affordable. They've got to make it without the gimmicks and the boat anchors. I think that, in my opinion, are slowing it down. Anyway, it's just one man's opinion. It's just my opinion as an old gamer. And I know a few of you feel the same way because I've talked to you about it at length. I've lost a few friends over my stance on this, and it's understandable. They're fanboys, and I kind of underestimated the whole, a lot of the younger gamers. They get really invested with their... And believe me, I love my favorite products, and I'm loyal to different brands, but not at the expense of things that really matter to me at the end of the day. And that's what this whole rant's about. So I just wanted to share my feelings with you on it. I'd love to hear your feelings about what you like about the Xbox One, what you don't like, what you like about the PS4, what you don't like, the Wii U, all of it. Leave comments. I'd love to hear it. So thank you very much for putting up with this long-winded rant. I appreciate it. And enjoy your games, whether they're brand new consoles or whether they're the old retro ones. Have a great time, man.